honored and blessed and grateful. And good morning. It's morning here in Florida. Got up very early, which is awesome. We've been aiming for this discipline of being able to get up super early in the morning. So we're so graced to be able to do that. So today I want to go a little bit into shifting frequency and also leveling up your frequency. Has a lot to do with learning lessons so that they can transform to blessings. So basically we come to this planet for learning, so we're constantly learning, and as we remain open to that, we continue to level up. So when there are circumstances that come into your life, there are different methods to leveling up. The first thing is not to blame another, even though it may seem like another may be causing suffering. It's always taking responsibility of your every now moment and honoring it. And also, as a friend inspired me to ask the question when dealing with things coming up, let's say, is what can I learn from this? What is the lesson here? And what can I learn? And by willing to be open enough to ask that question, to set the intention, naturally the lesson will begin to present itself for it to be able to be learned. And once you learn it, then you receive the knowledge. And as they say, knowledge is power. So as you obtain the knowledge, you're able to have, a map to be able to practice it. What I used to say, that knowledge is taking in the information and wisdom is practicing it. So with the knowledge of lesson, you can learn it by bringing in the wisdom of the practice of, let's say, a huge lesson for me that I'm in the midst of learning by asking the question, what can I learn from this, is beginning to shift and transform. I had a huge shift recently, is responding versus reacting. Okay, that's a common one, but it is one that I've dealt with, and it's related to throat issues that I've had, and also apparently I've had in many lifetimes. So I'm a very passionate person. I'm very expressive with my emotion. But what I've had to learn for it to become a blessing, to be conscious communication, is to step back and not immediately react of the emotion, but to respond consciously, which is a practice of wisdom. And it's how my lesson is transforming into a blessing. So there's an example right there of a particular thing. So I've seen many patterns in many circumstances that have been quick to react. And it's not always a negative thing. It doesn't always mean like reaction in a negative way. It could be just in even going into another lesson I learned about releasing people pleasing, is the need to have to react to give an answer right away. You can take your time. You can ask, what can I learn from this? How is the best way to consciously communicate? And step back and practice wisdom by consciously responding. So that's been a huge shift for me. And in that shifting, obtaining that knowledge and that guidance to be able to practice the wisdom, naturally a shift has occurred, which I have leveled up. I've leveled up my frequency from it. And this is the message I'm giving out today, that when these circumstances in life happen, things happen, sometimes we have a tendency to think that it's someone else's fault, or, and that could be in some cases, and maybe not. Maybe we take it on ourselves too harshly, or anything. It can be simply anything. But basically what I do know is that every one of us has lessons to learn and has opportunities for growth. And granted, this is inspiration that came from my friend and / teacher, who taught me to look at problems and issues as opportunities as growth is a really positive way to transform just immediately your response or reaction to a circumstance. Like, these problems. Wow, these opportunities for growth. I'm so grateful and I honor them. So there for me, that was also a shift in how I consciously speak about the things that I face. But basically, I know that all of us on this planet have something to learn. We're imperfectly perfect and we continually grow and learn. So another technique is remaining open like a child, like connecting to the inner child so that we remain open and willing to learn. So we don't have to know everything and we don't have to be perfect. But one suggestion is definitely to be willing to learn is just an abundant doorway to leveling up and impossible things becoming possible. So it's really a beautiful thing. So, so basically what I'm here to inspire is look at some repetitive things that happen in different ways, but may have the same outcome, like for example, when dealing with a situation and I end up reacting, my throat has inflames, or something goes with my thyroid. So bringing awareness to, that part of your body, it could be your stomach, digestive things. Let's say you have digestive issues. Look at how well do you digest information, how well do you digest your experiences, and do you quickly go into eating more, like getting more experience, getting more information before you fully digested the information you previously had? Are you able to fully digest it before you move into the next one? For example, it could be something along those lines. Joint issues. I know joint can sometimes be linked to stubbornness and overly willed, which willpower is a beautiful thing. I'm learning more and more about the positivity of discipline and willpower. It takes willpower to be here on this video right now. It takes discipline to get up at 3:30 to 4:30 in the morning to do a devotion. These are all, willpower is not necessarily a bad thing. But let's say you have joint issues. Now I have minor knee stuff and legs. It has a lot to do with stubbornness and at times too much force or willpower. So then you have to look at how balanced am I? What is the lesson I can learn from this? Am I truly balanced? Do I add play into my life, or am I always using willpower, force, seriousness, structure, such and such? It's good to be organized, logical, structured, disciplined. But that on its own is not enough to have a full-on experience of leveling up in joy. So you can add in there some play, which I'm also learning. Another lesson I'm learning is to add more play. Now, there was a time I was super silly and it's easy for me to play, but then I learned the importance of discipline. But you can take anything into an extremity if not careful. So balance, if you've got joint issues or, something like that, look at, are you forcing things too much? Is your willpower overpowering the essence of play? So make sure the balance is there. Let's say you get headaches all the time. How is your mental health? Leaf. Just fell in my hands. Blessed be. How easy is it for you to let go of thought? Do you take time to meditate? Do you take time to center and be still to clear your mind? So what can I learn from this? Why do I get headaches so often? Or something like that. You'll find that even the physical is very much tied to the spiritual. So it's good to look at what is the lesson, what can I learn from this? In order to sometimes, it's just like a natural remedy to heal even your physical stuff and help you level up your frequency. So it's like a win-win, you know what I mean? You can level up your spirit, but it also levels up your physical, mental, and emotional body. So, or bodies. And, in that is leveling up a frequency for a whole balance of miracles to just pour in. So it's just really being willing to be open to learn the lesson, get the knowledge, and bring it into practice as you allow the wisdom to take forefront and practice that new level up by, for example, respond for me. Responding to a situation by taking the time to step back and really really take the time to digest what you're feeling is, what I'm saying to myself. Take the time to digest the feeling. So then you can appropriately explain, when this was said, this made me feel this certain way. Not that the person made you feel it. It's not at all the person's fault. It's just this apparently has triggered this, and these are the reasons, and this is what I'm feeling. Now, they may or may not understand you, because I find that even, for a while there, I kind of thought I was consciously communicating, but I wasn't feeling like I was being understood. There is no expectations here that other people are going to fully understand. But if you make peace with it, like I made peace with it by choosing to consciously respond, I knew and I felt the leveling up that I had reached a conscious communication in my emotional, like being able to consciously communicate my emotions. And we'll continue to practice it as the wisdom is taking forefront. We'll continue to practice it. However, at first it wasn't a full understanding. It's beginning to get more and more understanding from others. But just that leveling up in itself for me helped me have a shift. Because, even my friend, who's also a teacher, who's very tapped in, was like, you have had a huge, huge shift. And we'll be clearing up your throat stuff. So, for me, I know it was blessed. I know it was a shift. And then it took a little bit of time for practice and wisdom for understanding with other people to come in. So also be willing to learn and release expectations. Release expectations and release the blame. So it's really taking responsibility and asking, what can I learn from this? Allowing the lesson to come in, be learned, and then it's transformed to a blessing. Then you level up and raise your frequency. It's a beautiful thing. We are here to learn, expand our consciousness, and it is just the willingness to be open to do that really makes or breaks those experiences. So thank you so much for being here. I honor you. I'm so grateful. Love and light, heart. And I look forward to just, any feedback if you have any. So if you'd like to leave a comment, maybe you'd like to share some of your leveling up experiences or, the lessons that you are learning, we'd be happy to hear about them. If you like this video, feel free to hit like. And if you like our channel, we'd love for you to subscribe. We really honor your time to be here and just honor spirit in this every now moment. So thank you so much and many blessings. Namaste.